What is this?
Laptops. Water. Devastation.
This is kind of interesting. What is this?
Now, if you were the owner of one of these, you'd probably first cry. And then you'd immediately go to the Apple Store. And that's exactly what Apple wants you to do. The company, and many others, restricts how and where you can repair your stuff in a variety of ways. Apple says this is to make sure customers receive safe and reliable repair services. But now some elected officials and lawmakers want to give you more choices with what's generally called the right to repair. This doesn't mean you have to go all Rosie the Riveter with your own tools. This is also about making it much.
I don't get it. If you buy something, you own it. Can't you do whatever the fuck you want with it?
Easier for others, including independent repair shops, to help fix your stuff. That doesn't look good.
This doesn't look good at all, and it's corroded. The worst part is over here.
Oh boy. The Fair Repair Act, which was introduced in Congress in June, would require original equipment manufacturers to make available certain documentation, diagnostic, and repair information to independent providers. Over 20 states have introduced similarly worded bills. None have been enacted yet. So what does this all mean? And would this really help you, the hopeless person with a broken gadget? Yes, it probably would. Certainly, my journey to repair two very dead...
Guys, it would void the warranty, but that's okay. If this is a risk you're willing to take because you trust the repair shop, that's fine. It's like with Xboxes. In the Xbox, when you open the Xbox, inside, there's the actual console itself, right? And if you want to open the console, there's a weird sticker or some shit around it. There's like 4 stickers, and if you want to open the consoles, you have to rip it. And if you send your Xbox, right, and it doesn't have the stickers, they send it right back to you and they say, yo, dude, it's tampered with, we don't repair it.
Dead MacBooks showed it could save you both time and money. Let's first talk about these two machines. This is a 13-inch 2017 MacBook Pro, which at the time cost $1,400. The second, a 2020 MacBook Air, that cost $1,100.
Yeah, Trip, that's what I heard.
Both I grabbed from my IT department and were marked as having water damage. I promise you, I did not actually spill water on these to break them. So I packed them up and went to the Apple Store. Since they were out of warranty, and I don't have Apple Care Plus, which covers accidental damage, I walked out of the store pretty sad.
Chat.
$7.99.
My experience with those 1.4K laptops for people that had them, dude, in my opinion, they get really laggy and slow. They're battery hungry, and they're always at a fucking battery. Some shit. I hate them. I hate them.
$9.99 to fix the Pro.
I fucking hate this shit.
And the genius I spoke to basically suggested I just buy some new machines instead. Shocker.
Wait, she said what?
Dental damage. I walked out of the store pretty sad. $7.99 to fix the Air. $9.99 to fix the Pro.
Huh?
And the genius I spoke to basically suggested I just buy some new machines instead. Shocker. Then, Mike's Tech Shop, an authorized Apple service provider, had even worse news. It sends the laptops out to Apple to be fixed, and it adds its own labor charge. $870 for the Air. $1,170 for the Pro. Yeah. Nope.
But they didn't even look inside it.
Both of those stores said it would take 5 to 7 days for the repair. That's when I decided to go to a shop that doesn't have any relationship with Apple, such as Rossmann Repair. The owner, Louis Rossmann, has been an advocate about the right to repair.
Oh, this guy!
Our only option is to go to Apple and have this $3,000 or $4,000 device fixed by them for $1,500.
He's also got a popular YouTube channel where he often criticizes Apple's repair restrictions, champions the right to repair,
he shits on them all the time.
And shares his opinion on various topics.
It's really important to me with right to repair that what we're asking for be very reasonable.
His price quote? $325 for the Pro. But a no-go on the Air because he didn't have the parts or information. Another independent repair store in New York, very similar pricing. So let's think about this for a second. $9.99 at Apple or $325 at Rossmann Repair. I think it's pretty simple.
Yeah, and that's so ironic too because when Apple had the parts cheaper because they own it and they make them, on top of that, their employees have the expertise because they know how it's made and they really work for the company. It doesn't make any sense, dude.
An Apple spokesman said, We believe the safest and most reliable repair is one handled by a trained technician using Apple genuine parts. And we continue to expand Apple's offerings to better meet our customers' needs. He added that Apple would replace the entire motherboard for a repair like this, which makes it more expensive.
Oh, okay,
But
thanks.
to really understand how this legislation wants to change things, I had to see what was happening inside these machines. Here's the first one. It's a 13-inch MacBook Pro.
All right. The big deal is that corrosion that is over here is right next to where the Wi-Fi data line is.
Translation. The water caused corrosion on the motherboard, and it's around components that help with, just 3 little things.
Chat.
Power,
guys,
Wi-Fi.
Isn't it the fact that it's not the water that causes corrosion or whatever? Isn't it like the minerals in the water?
And your
that,
screen. But
that
Rossman
do it?
still thought it had a chance.
So let's see if this one has a chance of working, because it doesn't look like the corrosion around that area is too
Oxidation.
bad. We're just gonna do this. It's like filing your nails.
It's not what filing my nails looks like.
Now, 2 things really made this repair possible for Rossman. One, he had the extra parts to swap in for the broken parts. He got them from what are called donor boards. Boards from old systems with still usable parts.
Damn, that was...
2, he had schematics and board views. These are basically maps of what's in the system, so he can figure out what is what. Except these documents created by the manufacturer aren't provided to independent repair shops. Rossman and others get these documents, which are often leaked from people that work at the company, from sites on the internet. That's part of what the right to repair wants to change.
So Apple doesn't give you any of this.
No. I can't get access to it as a third-party repair center, and if you become an authorized repair center, you still can't get access to any of this stuff.
And was this originally
Wait,
an Apple
what?
document? Is this like something
Doesn't
Apple
make any
put
sense.
together?
Yeah, it says right in the bottom of it. It says over here, notice of proprietary property. This information contained herein is the proprietary property of Apple Inc.
An Apple spokesperson said that the company has an independent repair provider program, which provides access to Apple genuine parts, tools, training, service guides, diagnostics, and resources to perform a variety of out-of-warranty repairs. He added that the company has found individual chip replacements to be unreliable, which is why it replaces the full motherboard. However, Rossman and others say that this Apple program does not provide schematics or board views, and many specific parts that make repairs more affordable for consumers.
Sure did.
After about 15 minutes of work, we were ready to see if it had been fixed.
It's on.
It is on.
This guy's pretty
Charging?
good.
Okay, that was the MacBook Pro. But what about that MacBook Air?
No.
Rossman didn't have access to the board view document for that specific MacBook Air, which meant it was a no-go.
This one, even if I did have all the information, it doesn't really have the highest chance of being repairable. But when you combine the factor that it looks like this with the fact that I don't have all the information I need to do my job, I'd say screw this.
Why don't you have the information to do your job?
Because I can't find the board view because it's not available. I have to wait for someone at Apple or one of these factories to leak that board view and risk their job or risk them being in prison to one of those websites so that I can buy it.
He also said that getting the parts to fix the Air aren't available yet to him.
So to recap, this 13-inch MacBook Pro works perfectly now. I even wrote this script on it, and I've been working on it. This MacBook Air, well, my only choice is really to go back to Apple and pay them $799 to fix it. Or I can buy a completely new MacBook Air for $999,
Well,
which really doesn't seem like a
for
choice at all.
$200 you got a donor board and you repaired it manually. That's kind of crazy. Wouldn't Apple?
And that's what the right to repair
motherboard
is
be
all
cheaper
about.
for them to have
Giving
it?
us more choices
They probably have
to
like
repair our
thousands.
stuff.
Tech companies
Millions.
and opponents of the legislation argue that that choice can impact product safety and data security and put companies' intellectual property at risk.
What do you want to see the most out of this legislation?
I'd like to see it have the teeth to be able to do the bare minimum, which is get us access to schematics, to board views, and to be able to buy these chips. It's odd to be a computer repairman and feel like the kid in high school that was selling weed out of the fourth stall, the lunch bathroom.
The future of all this now rests in the hands of lawmakers. Or in this case, maybe it should be in the hands of laptop makers, who should consider liquid proofing.
But you could tell when cats hate their owners based on the fact that they piss on their computers.
Oh, okay. That's fine.